I want to thank you for checking out my book, 8 Lives Down, a story about my time in Iraq as a counter-terrorist bomb disposal operative. I dedicated this memoir to the men and women who made the long walk, meaning made the approach to a device and never returned. What follows is a short interview about my experiences. I hope you find it interesting, and thank you for your time. 8 Lives Down really stems from the title that we were given as bomb disposal operators. We were always known as Felix, the cat with 9 lives. And effectively, after that particular tour, that 4-month tour in Iraq, I felt really that I'd used up 8 of the 9 lives, and it was time to go and do something a bit different. And what I wanted to do was write something that was very sort of emotionally honest and emotionally raw. So incorporate, the true feelings, what it's like to actually be terrified when you're under fire, what it's like to physically walk up to a bomb, and also what it's like for those people we leave behind back home and how they cope, and how we cope as soldiers and servicemen and women in operational theatres away from our families, and the sort of pressures that it puts on us. So those are the reasons why I wanted to write the book, really. So when you get there, you may have a senior officer who has executive command and control of the incident. But when you turn up there as a subject matter expert, he then defers to you, and you take over and say, this is where the cordon needs to be sighted, this is where the evacuation needs to go out to. You do the detailed questioning, identify exactly where the bomb is, establish who the insurgent group is, what effect they're trying to achieve. And then the next thing you do really is ensure that the whole area is as safe as it possibly can be. You're looking at the safety of the local population, the safety of the cordon troops and the security forces, the Afghan army, whoever it may be on the cordon position, and then the security and safety of your own team. And at that point, once you've done all that and you've located the device, ideally with a robot, but it's not always possible, at some stage then you've got to go and do the manual approach, what we call the long walk. And at that point, that's where you hand over to your number 2, who looks after everything in the incident control point, and you literally, walk out of the incident control point and start the long walk, the lonely walk, down to the bomb itself. And at that point, it's very much a huge sense of isolation, but also a massive adrenaline rush as well. And the only thing you think about as you're walking up to that bomb is the bomb itself, because you've sort of factored in every possible eventuality, every possible consideration, and now it's just literally a challenge between you and the bomb maker on the sort of periphery, but physically the device itself, and that's all you focus on and think about. The other thing is, as you make a manual approach to a device, there's a certain point, a certain distance at which you're in the kill zone. And even if you've got a bomb suit on, when that device functions, you'd be killed. So really, once you're at that point, you've effectively crossed the point of no return, and therefore you're committed. So you make it happen. If I was to go up to a car bomb, for example, and there was a mechanical clock or a James Bond bomb, with a sort of LED timer, and I was looking through the window and saw it sort of go, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, then, yes, I would turn round and do the fastest 100-metre sprint in history. I definitely feel there's a security risk, which is why I've written under a pen name and why I changed the names of the people in the book. It wasn't just a single organisation I was working against. Over the years, I've worked against a number of terrorist organisations and provided evidence that's convicted a number of terrorists. So there's always that risk of some form of repercussion.